Hi, welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things around the concept of disillusionment. I'm Dr. Lewis Thomas, a GP and a disillusionment coach. In today's video, we're diving into how disillusionment can completely transform the way you play the game of life. This really is the ultimate game changer that you can't afford to miss if you want to live your best life. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn exactly how to use disillusionment to level up your life. So as we know, disillusionment is that jarring realization when reality doesn't match up to your expectations. And Tupac said it best, really. Things will never be the same. Maybe you thought your dream job would be fulfilling, but it turned out to be a grind. Maybe you watched CPR in the movies and TV shows and it inspired you to be a doctor so that you could save lives. But then you realize that only 7% of people actually survive in real life, and it's a completely brutal, traumatic process, which is significantly worse than what the Hollywood actors make it look like. Anyway, disillusionment is a psychological and emotional shift that can be tough, but it also signals an opportunity to change. When disillusionment hits, you're experiencing a shift, and it's really crucial to recognize that and get really interested in what's going on. Your old beliefs and expectations are being challenged. Think of it like this. The game you thought you were playing has changed, and now there are new rules. And this is where most people get stuck. So I remember when I was 13, my school organized a basketball tournament, and I thought this was great because I played basketball all the time and absolutely loved it. But basketball is a really unpopular sport in England compared to football. So I'd organized my own team of my friends and showed them how to play basketball. And then I remember being on the playground and being in conversation with a group of the sporty football guys who wanted to play in a basketball tournament. And they were like, oh, we've not got a goalkeeper. Like, who's going to be our goalkeeper? No one wants to be our goalkeeper. And I was looking at them like, what are you talking about, goalkeeper? This is basketball. But part of me was like really competitive, and, you know, I thought this is my advantage, that they're going to fail because of this. And that's essentially it. They were using the rules that they knew from football and trying to apply it in a different context for basketball, and it was never going to work. That's essentially what people do in life as well. We cling to what's familiar because it feels safe and comfortable. But in a new game with new rules, these ways and strategies are just going to lead to frustration and unhappiness. So we have to adapt. Not adapting to a new reality can have some really serious consequences. You might feel stuck, unfulfilled, or just perpetually unhappy and depressed. The most common examples of this are staying in dead-end jobs or staying in toxic relationships because it's just familiar and you're afraid to, experience anything else. I was a doctor for a long time, even though I knew inside that it wasn't making me happy. And it just really didn't twig for a while that I could have a job that I actually enjoyed going to and didn't dread, and made me feel fulfilled and in control, and not kind of being completely broken by a broken system that really didn't care about me as a human being. So this adaptation begins by embracing change, embracing the new game that you're now living. Accept that things have changed and it's time for a new approach. And you have to acknowledge these uncomfortable feelings of disillusionment, because it's okay to feel confused or not know what you're doing or not know what your purpose is in life. The worst thing you can do is ignore that and try and pretend that everything's all good and you're like confident and coping, because all that's going to happen is people are just going to assume that, you are all good and just pile more pressure onto you, and then your problems will never end up getting solved. So this moment that you're having now, this is your opportunity to actually reset, to figure out what your values are, to figure out what you actually want in life. And then that's going to open you up to go and find opportunities to make that happen. So like we said, every game needs a strategy and there's rules to every game. So when you're in a new game, you have to develop a new strategy. And this means being flexible and open-minded. For example, if your career isn't fulfilling, that means that maybe you need to start looking at new career options and explore new opportunities outside of what you already know. This new reality that you're in now has a lot of uncertainty because you've never experienced this before. So you're gonna have to be an explorer. It's not gonna just appear out of thin air. It's gonna take time. You know, it is pretty tough. And it's probably the toughest part of this process, because you've got to remember that your old strategy was developed over years and years. And that was just by you passively living life and having experiences that your brain then interpreted and learnt from and developed that strategy. What you're doing now is you're intentionally creating new experiences so that you can learn from them. And that process is going to involve trial and error and failure. And we need failure because it's a great teacher. You know, people become successful because they failed and failed and failed. And it's about accepting that failure is part of the process that leads to success. So don't be afraid of failure. You know, it's there for the ride, and it's what is going to get you to develop your bulletproof strategy that's going to allow you to dominate and really excel in your life. So having said that it's tough, it's also important to build resilience. And I'm not talking about building resilience so that you can withstand the crushing pressure of the, broken system that you're working in and your employer or boss sort of trying to destroy your life. I'm talking about resilience that will just be a temporary thing that will get you through the temporary process of getting to fulfillment, of getting to where you want to be in life, so that you can then reap the rewards of all of the work that you've put in. So I'm talking about practicing self-care, mindfulness, having a positive mindset, surrounding yourself with supportive people who want the best for you, who want you to grow and change and be better, rather than people who want you to stay the same. And that's tough because sometimes those people that want you to stay the same aren't necessarily, bad people or people that don't have your best interest at heart. But you just have to recognize that you're on a different path now. You're in your reality and they're in their reality. So basically, you just have to try and surround yourself with the right people who understand what you're trying to do. Techniques that I find really helpful are journaling as well, because that allows you to actually have that conversation with yourself. Because obviously you know exactly what's going on in your mind. However, unless you can somehow express that, it won't be as powerful. You won't get the same effect from it. You need to kind of get it out of your head onto paper, or speak about it to someone who is a good listener and understands. And techniques like mindfulness and journaling can also help build mental strength and resilience as well. So it's all really good stuff to be doing as a habit. It's also important to recognize that you're not alone in this. There's a lot of other people out there that have been through this as well or are going through it. And it's important to reach out to them and, seek supportive groups or mentors or coaching, what I do is coach people that are feeling disillusioned and help them to, you know, come to terms with the new reality so that they can develop a plan to actually get them to a place of fulfillment. And that's part of, you know, my backstory as well, how I went from being disillusioned to realizing that the job that I was in, the only times that I actually felt, you know, really fulfilled and happy was when I was helping patients transform their lives. And when I was, you know, watching them realize themselves that, you know, they could actually follow their passions and do what they wanted to, rather than just kind of passively, you know, going with the flow and then becoming, you know, depressed and having all these anxieties and stresses that they didn't really need to be experiencing. They just needed to look at the new rules, at the new reality, and adapt. Let's talk about the light at the end of the tunnel, fulfillment. Adapting to new realities and embracing disillusionment leads to personal growth and a life of fulfillment. It might be challenging at first, but the rewards are worth it. Because when you find yourself aligned to your true values and heading towards your goals, that's when you'll find the greatest success and happiness that you can experience in life. So there you have it. Disillusionment might seem like a setback, but it's actually a powerful catalyst for change. So embrace it, adapt, and just watch how your life transforms. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And also share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, it's really important that we support and encourage each other as we're going through our own journeys. Thanks for watching, and remember, in any game, the key to winning is adapting to the rules. See you next time.